Who works in a Washington, D.C. congressional office? Behind every member of Congress is a team of dedicated and essential staff members who play key roles in representing and advising their bosses, meeting with constituents, and advancing legislative priorities in Congress. In this video, we will take you inside a typical Washington, D.C. congressional office to explain key staff positions, their roles inside that office, and how you, as a Cure SMA advocate, can work with congressional staff to educate and advocate in support of SMA community priorities. Members of Congress have offices and staff in both Washington, D.C. and the state or congressional district they represent. U.S. Senate offices are bigger, with more staff, given they represent an entire state rather than just a congressional district. We will focus on staff who work in the congressional office located on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. Not all congressional offices in Washington are structured the same. They are formed based on the goals and needs of each individual member of Congress. However, most congressional offices include staff within three general categories. They are 1. The operations team, 2. The legislative team, and 3. The communications team. First, the operations team is responsible for the day-to-day activities of the office. The staff positions to know under this function are Chief of Staff and Scheduler. The Chief of Staff is the top aide to the member of Congress who, depending on the office, can oversee everything from overall office staffing and policies to advising on political, legislative, and scheduling matters. The scheduler is responsible for reviewing constituent meetings and event requests and confirming which activities the member can attend or which should send staff to. The scheduler is a key contact for organizations like Cure SMA and their advocates who want to set up a meeting with the office. The legislative team advises and works with the member of Congress on legislation and activities related to policy areas such as transportation, healthcare, or housing. The legislative team member you will most likely work with as an advocate is a legislative assistant, who, as the title infers, assist the member of Congress on their legislative matters. Legislative assistants, or LAs, as they are commonly referred to, are responsible for researching and advising on legislative proposals and preparing or representing their bosses for hearings and constituent meetings. For example, a meeting request on a healthcare issue that you send to the member's scheduler may get referred to and scheduled with the office's Health LA. Legislative assistants may receive research, writing, and meeting support on their policy areas from a legislative correspondent, or LC. Also, an office likely has a legislative director, or LD, that helps to manage the office's overall legislative agenda. Finally, congressional offices in Washington, D.C. have a communications team that helps communicate the members' positions, legislative proposals, and achievements to constituents. Common positions on a communication team include a communications director and press secretary. So, why does all this matter? Members of Congress are unable to meet directly with or review all constituent requests given the many legislative demands on their schedule, such as hearings, briefings, or roll call votes. That is why members have staff, to be their extra eyes and ears when the member is unable to meet with or respond directly to constituents. Congressional staff are often young, but are smart, responsive, and key to getting your message to your members of Congress. Several senators and representatives were once congressional staff members during an earlier part of their career. So, in other words, you are in great hands if your meeting or legislative request is handled by a staff person rather than the member. Now that you know how congressional offices are structured, you can use that information to more effectively advocate for issues important to you and the SMA community. Be sure you are signed up as a Cure SMA advocate and are engaging year-round through the Cure SMA's Action Center. Please contact Cure SMA Advocacy if you need assistance or have questions. Thank you for your interest in advocacy.